Hey Terror Nation, Ari Ross alongside head softball coach Scott Pullman ahead of their 2020 season. You guys get started in just a couple weeks. You're coming off your best finish since 2012, fifth place in the NCAC. What are your goals and expectations heading into the 2020 season?
Our goals and expectations have been the same since I've been here. We're always trying to be number one in the conference. I mean, that's what our goal is, and make it to the NCAA tournament, so it hasn't changed since I've been here.
So certainly a lofty goal, but one you definitely can attain. Coming off a big fall ball season, you guys beat NCAA Division I opponent Akron. What have you guys seen that you've improved since last season and then since fall ball as well?
I think looking at our season last year, halfway through the season we had 6 injuries, 6 key players that were starters, and we lost them for 12 games. So coming back into fall, we had a full complement of players again. They were healthy. And we've added a lot of depth this year with the freshmen we brought in. Freshmen were very instrumental for us having some success this fall. And something that we've lacked since I've been here is depth. And we now have a great deal of depth that we can plug players in any position, whether it be somebody who's a defensive player or somebody who's an offensive player. We have the depth to take us. So, and plus I think another thing is we have the players all respect each other and are pushing each other to be successful, so that's been a huge part of it.
And we see them oftentimes outside our window doing drills out on the turf, and eventually we'll be able to get on that softball field down there once it warms up a little bit. You guys, of course, go down to a road trip hitting up Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, a bunch of different places down there. And you mentioned that a lot of depth. You have 9 returners this year, 5 who are previously All-NCAC honorees, 3 of last year, including Megan Davis. What do you expect to see from them, and who could we sort of take the next step as well this year?
Yeah, every year's been somebody a little bit different. KT, her freshman year, KT Hager, was an honorable mention All-Region, I believe a first or second team NCAC. Unfortunately, she had a lot of injuries last year. Megan came off a really good freshman season. Megan's in the middle of basketball season, which hopefully they're going to play for a couple more weeks. But so she really hasn't been doing much with us right now. So, but it seems like every year somebody's stepping up. Again, we have a really talented freshman class that's coming in this year. We have a couple of freshmen, I think, that are going to be stepping on starting for us this year. But some of our returners, Mariah Sheffield she's hit the weight room hard. She's putting in extra reps in the batting cage. She had a really good fall, and she's hitting the ball hard. She's a junior. And so it's players like that are going to contribute.
And you've mentioned the freshmen a couple times now. 9 incoming freshmen, 2 transfers as well. What can we expect to see from them? What are some names that Terrier Nation is going to learn this year?
I think as far as transfers, unfortunately, the injury bug has bit us already. We have a player, one of the transfers just broke her foot, so she'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. That's Mo. And then we have just Scotty, freshman left-handed pitcher who also hits the ball extremely well. She has a concussion, so we're kind of like on a day-by-day. We're hoping to get her by next week, but it's kind of looking doubtful at this point. At center field, we have Melissa Galindo, junior college transfer, who's just fast, covers a lot of ground in the outfield, made some really good catches against Akron in the win we had against Akron, and we switched her from the right side to the left side to utilize her speed. And then we have, there's Victoria Garcia and Avery Rodriguez. Avery's more of a utility player. She can play third, she can play catcher, shortstop. Victoria is really good glove at shortstop. And we have Lauren, she's a first baseman, outfielder. So they're just all going to contribute at some point.
You'd like to see that, and hopefully the injury bug starts to dial down as the season goes on. You hate to see that with a lot of players on IR.
We reviewed what happened last year. We had changed the lifting program from my previous first 2 years here to something different last year. And in talking with Stephanie Tickelmeyer, who's our assistant, we kind of wondered if maybe some of that wasn't due to the way we were lifting. So we've changed the way we lift, and we've gone back to the style that we were doing prior to last year. So we're hoping that's going to kind of contribute. Concussions, there's nothing you can do to prevent that. But so
unfortunately, those are tough, but we'll keep our fingers crossed for all of them, and hopefully they're healthy in the next couple weeks and they can get the season started off on the right foot. Of course, you guys do have a tough schedule. You go down a Southern tour. You play Birmingham Southern, who's ranked, Maryville, Barry, a couple other ranked schools. Of course, you've got DePaul and a number of other good teams in the NCAC. What are you guys doing to prepare for such, especially an early tough schedule and a tough schedule overall?
We've done that by design. Again, our goal has always been to be first in the conference but make the NCAA tournament. And we're looking to play ranked opponents. It was first 2 years was kind of tough to get non-conference ranked opponents to play us because we offered nothing to them. We're starting to get a relatively good reputation, and teams see us as up and coming, which is going to help them in their strength of schedule. So, the downside is my first year, I talked to the seniors. My first year here, we had 8 players when I arrived on campus, and we had a choice of going to Florida and not playing as aggressive a schedule, or going to Arizona and playing a couple of nationally ranked teams. They wanted to go to Arizona to face tougher competition, and we've kind of kept that. It's kind of my belief, it hurts us in a win-loss at the very beginning of the year. If you think about it, the Southern teams that you've mentioned have been practicing in dirt and playing in dirt. They will have played probably 6 or 8 games by the time we get down there, but more importantly, they've been on the dirt. We haven't seen the dirt since really October. And so, there's going to be some errors and stuff like that we have to overcome. But my philosophy is our region and our conference is so tough. I want us to get us ready for when we get back up in Ohio. So I want our pitchers to face the best hitters in the country, and I want our hitters to face some of the best pitchers, so that when we get into tough games like DePaul and Denison and Kenyon and some of our upper level, Worcester conference teams that we've already faced equally, talented teams, to kind of put us in a little bit of a rest.
We hope the Southern Road Trip does exactly that. You guys are on the road for a while. Don't come back till March 15th. You're for home opener against Mount Union.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bunch of home games to end the year against conference opponents, of course. One last question for you, Coach. This season will be a success if fill in the blank.
Yeah, if we are number 1 in the conference and make the NCAA tournament. Again, that's our goal, and that's what we strive for every year. And I guess if we get away with not a lot of injuries.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for you. As always, you can follow the Terriers on Twitter and Instagram at Hiram_athletics and on Facebook at Hiram College Athletics. And be sure to check out our website at www.hiramterriers.com. Thanks for joining me here on the Hiram College Network, Coach, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Go Terriers.